G'day guys, welcome to another marathon training video. I'm John Chenge and I'm going through a week of my training leading up to a race this weekend. Now I took a bit of a break after a marathon and I've been back training for about a month and been steadily building up my mileage. I've been doing quite a bit of intensity this build up, a bit more than my mileage, so focusing on getting some good intensity in my training. And I'm here in the Flinders Ranges this morning in Quorn, and I'm going to do a few days training up here and then head back to Adelaide for a race. Now with my training, I do like to race fairly regularly. I like to race every 2 weeks in the build-up period. I just did my first run for the week. It was a wave tempo, so that's a tempo run or a fast-paced run, which is I'm aiming to do about my goal marathon pace and then go faster than that. So I actually started going faster and then went to marathon pace, and I did 6 kilometers of that where I alternate the pace each kilometer. Unfortunately it was a tailwind to start with, so when I turned around I actually blew up quite badly and didn't finish the tempo very well. But I didn't really smash myself because I know I've got a race this weekend. I don't really want to be completely smashing myself, but yeah, 6 kilometers of wave tempo was my first run for the week. I've been building up over the last few weeks. I did 4k 2 weeks ago, 6k last Monday, and I do that on a Monday as an extra workout for the week, so a bit more intensity and a bit less of just easy jogging, which is what I've been doing for a number of years, so just trying to change things up a little bit in this build up. So I'll check in again with how my training's going over the next few days. Okay, so having said that there's more intensity in this build up, there's still a lot of easy jogging. It's a Monday afternoon, doing an easy 1 hour run. I'm on the road to Hawker from Quorn, which is where I did the tempo run this morning. It's a flat, quiet road. There is a bit of traffic that comes through, but not enough to interrupt you too much. And actually, I'll just show you it here. It's a fairly quiet road, middle of nowhere really. They're thinking of putting a nuclear waste facility here. I can see why. It's fairly featureless, but nice and flat road in the Flinders Ranges, so it's not all mountains. You can see the mountains around to some extent, but yeah, good place for a tempo run. So adding more tempos into my training is something new for me. I've mostly just been doing interval sessions, and then I do heavy marathon sessions where I do long intervals in a long run. But yeah, something new is to do those faster paced, sustained running efforts, and the goal for them is just to get more efficient at the marathon pace, because I've developed a fair bit of strength over the years as a marathon runner, and I've worked out that for my improvement, that's sort of what I need to focus on, is getting more efficient at the faster pace so I can run faster marathon, because the marathon pace needs to feel easy, at least in the initial stages, and then you work really hard to hold that towards the end. So that may not be what suits everyone or what is required for everyone. A lot of people will benefit a lot from just building up their mileage. Mileage is a good way of measuring consistency, so that's one reason why it's good to focus on mileage generally, because that way you're doing consistent training, and even just easy running builds your fitness. So I'm not actually doing away with high mileage. That is the goal, is to get the mileage up again. But for the moment I'm doing my faster runs well, and then focusing on the mileage after that. Okay, so I've just done a session along the road from Hawker to Quorn, and I did mention yesterday that it was nuclear, but Australia doesn't have any nuclear weapons or nuclear facilities and so on. It's just for radioactive waste, the facility they're having there, so they're going to keep the radioactive waste away from storage in the cities, which it currently is at the moment. So just x-rays and other medical waste mostly, I assume. But yeah, the session today, so this morning, Tuesday morning, I've done a tempo 3k along the road there, and then I was going to do some 1k reps, but it was really windy. I really struggled, and I was going a lot slower than my planned pace, so I thought, well, it's a bit of a wasted session if I just slogging it out, really smashing myself at slower than the pace I'm wanting to run at. So I changed the session from a longer tempo with 1k reps to a 3k tempo with 1k rep, just to see what time I was doing, and it was slow. So I did 4x300, which was the distance between two of the posts there. So 4x300 was the main session, and I did those fairly well, even though I was getting blown all over the road by the wind. But yeah, that's what I decided to do, rather than just cancel the session altogether because I was tired. I thought I'd do something, because I wasn't feeling too bad. I felt okay in the warm up. Felt okay yesterday afternoon, so it was just I couldn't get going. Probably a bit tired from a heavy session I did on Saturday. I was surprised that I did run so well or feel all right on Monday, because I did really smash me around a bit, the session I did on Saturday, which was a long session with some tempos in it. So that's all I've done for today. Is just a shorter session, but doing something. So I'm getting the mileage in early in the week, and so that's Tuesday morning. Yeah, really windy. Okay, so Tuesday afternoon, I've decided that I am quite tired, so it's better to freshen up for the weekend, and that's a good reason why I'm actually racing, is to make sure that I do get enough rest and recovery with my training. But today, instead of doing a run, I would usually run up the trails here for an easy run or a moderate run, but just decided to walk it. So I've gone for a hike up the trails at Melrose. It's Mountain Remarkable, which is about just half an hour or so from Quorn. So I'll just give a bit of a panoramic view of the area. You see, quite rocky. Some of the path is quite rocky. There's the view from up here. This isn't the highest point, but it's just part of the trail. A trail running event in 4 weeks here, so I'll probably come back here in 4 weeks and do that event as well. Okay, so Wednesday morning, doing an easy run along dirt road, so a bit softer underfoot than being on the bitumen. Over the last few weeks, with doing intensity on Monday and Tuesday, I've made my Wednesdays an easy run, just an easy run on Wednesday. So I'll run for an hour today. I know a lot of people do a long run or their second long run on Wednesday, and I have done that in the past, including leading up to races. But yeah, just sticking with what I've been doing the last few weeks. I may add in a second run on Wednesdays when my fitness improves over the next few weeks, but we'll see. At the moment, just keeping at that. Okay, so here we are at the Quorn Oval. Now this is the finish of the Pichi Marathon. It goes from Port Augusta to Quorn, very hilly, but Here is the oval at Corn. Okay, so this morning I've done a session at the oval. It's about 450 to 470 metres per lap, and I did 2 by 4 one-lappers, so a total of 8 one-lappers with an easy quarter of a lap jog recovery. So it was a walk, mostly walk and jog recovery, so basically a standing recovery, and that worked out at about 90 seconds per interval with a 1 minute rest. And the reason why I did this session was to get some speed in the legs. With so much of my training being at marathon pace, I don't want to have that be my maximum speed, so I have to do some running at a fair bit faster than marathon pace, so that again achieves that goal of making the marathon pace feel easy. So that's today's session. I will be freshening up over the next few days. I mean, it's not a heavy session I did today, not too aerobically difficult. Like if I'd done a fast jog recovery, that would have been quite aerobic, like earlier in the week. So I'm wanting to do something that's more sort of leg speed rather than aerobic, because I'm doing a lot of aerobic running on the weekend with that race. Okay, so after the rep session on Thursday, drove back to Adelaide Thursday afternoon, and did an easy 50 minutes on Friday. Now it's Saturday, day before the race, doing another easy run, about 11 k's, and being a pre-race run, I'm going to do some surges in it. So just in the last 2k I'll do 2 lots of 30 seconds and a 1 minute surge. And those surges just activating the muscles I'll be using in the race, so make it a bit easier to get into race pace tomorrow. Not sure how I feel about how I'm going to go in the race. It's a 30k event, which is pretty tough, pretty long. I like to do a half marathon a couple months out from my marathon to make sure that I'm okay holding the marathon pace or quicker, but not sure how I'll go. I'll aim for that gold marathon pace, knowing that I've had a pretty easy week, but I don't feel all that fit, so we'll just have to see how I go.
Hi guys, good luck. See you at the end. I promise. I'll still be smiling.
Okay, so time for a bit of a debrief after the Greenbelt Challenge, a 30-kilometre race along the Torrens Linear Park. If you made it this far into the vlog, well done. I'm going to now go through some running numbers, so excuse me if you're not really into that, but it will explain sort of my psychology of the event and how I was approaching it. My goal marathon pace is 3 minutes 30 per kilometre, and that is what I've been doing my tempo runs at. I've decided that would be a good number to aim for, because my Adelaide marathon that I ran nearly 2 months ago was at an average pace of 3 minutes 39 per kilometre, and I felt like I could have gone quite a bit quicker than that, and the only reason I was going sort of that pace was because I was in a race situation and I had to race the other people rather than go for a pure time trial, and I think I could have gone a bit quicker than what I did at Adelaide. If there'd been someone faster pushing the pace, or someone faster to hang on to, I would have been able to go with them, I thought. So that's what I've been aiming for, is to try to get that marathon goal pace down to 3 minutes 30 per kilometre, and that's what I set out the race at in the Greenbelt Challenge. I was hitting that pace quite comfortably at the start, and I was way under it for a few early kilometres, and I found I just had to ease up a little bit because I was making that pace quite easily. I had a shoelace come undone just after 5k, and I should have probably just kept the same intensity that I had been going, just trying to make it comfortable. But instead I did sort of made a rookie mistake, and I picked the pace up again after I dropped the shoelace, trying to hold that same pace for the kilometre, even though I'd had to stop for my shoelace. So I ended up going a bit too deep after 5k. I still felt pretty good around 8k though. Felt comfortable, light on my feet, was ticking over quite nicely. But then by about 12k was when I realised that I wasn't going to be able to hold it for the whole event. I started to be a bit sort of heavier on my feet. My contact time with the ground was a lot longer, and I wasn't as light and getting as much a spring in my step as I was going along. So by 15k I ended up going quite a bit slower than my goal pace of 3 minutes 30 per kilometre, and I actually ended up averaging about 3 minutes 44 for the second half. So it was about 3 minutes 30 for the first half and 3 minutes 44 for the second half, which was disappointing. Obviously I wanted to try to hold that 3 minutes 30, and that would be my new goal pace, that I could run a marathon at, considering that I've got still a couple more months worth of training to go. And you know, if I'd been able to do 30 k's at that pace, then it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to just keep training and build it up to 42 k's at that pace. So the fact that I wasn't able to hold it was a bit disappointing. However, the average was 3 minutes 37, which is a little bit quicker than my my recent marathon effort of 3 minutes 39. So it's still possible. I am only in the early stages of my marathon build-up. You know, only a month into training. I haven't done any big volume weeks in about 10 weeks now. So once I get some more training under my belt and get some more volume in, I'm sure that I will be able to get closer to that 3 minutes 30. I think I'll still have to go a bit more conservative than that. Maybe at 3 minutes 35 would be a good target pace to go for in my next race, which will be the Sydney Marathon in September. So that's where I'm at. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted, but that's what you do in training, and I treated this event as a training event because I was comfortably in front. I ended up getting the win. So there's the first place, and so I won it by 13 minutes. There wasn't any chance of me losing the event. It was just the matter of that. What I could have done is paced it a little bit better. I could have done a better 30k effort if I'd paced myself better. However, I just went for it, and ended up being a training day where I went out a little bit too quick and then came home suffering quite a bit. You can see here at the 27k mark some footage of me running through. Now with that footage, you can see I'm running okay, but like I said, I'm still only averaging over 3 minutes 40 per kilometre, so it's a bit slower than what I was hoping for. Still ran fairly solidly through to the finish. I wasn't able to really push it towards the end because I was having some stomach issues. Sort of a really foamy vomit was coming up as I was running along, so that wasn't too pleasant. And I find that I have been getting that in a few long races where there's been some fast downhills at the start, which there were in the Greenbelt. So that's another thing I maybe need to condition a bit more if I know there's a race with some downhills in it, to run some more downhills, and hopefully the stomach doesn't get as knocked around as much if I can run them a bit smoother. I ended up with quite a sore stomach for quite a few hours after the event. So that's another thing that I need to try to work on. I don't think changing my nutrition would help that much at all. It was really a muscular issue rather than a nutrition issue. So that's just another thing I need to think of before doing any events that might have a bit of a downhill in them. But that's it all done. I hope you enjoyed the vlog, got something out of it, either entertainment value or something to help with your training. So that's all for now. See you next time.